So first of all, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone around the world who's tuned in for this program. My name is Barbara Stoddard. I use she, her pronouns, and I am an Associate Director of Admissions on the international team here at Penn's Undergraduate Admissions Office. Now, of course, it's morning time here in Philadelphia and across the Western Hemisphere, but for some of you, I know it's afternoon or evening, or even perhaps very late at night. So wherever you are, whatever time it is, we're really delighted that you've joined us for this event. Thank you so much. Now, of course, one benefit of a virtual program is that it allows people from all different time zones to join together simultaneously. We have a very diverse and global audience here today. We had students register from several dozen different countries. So this is very much a round the world event. A couple housekeeping things to touch on before we get started. If you'd like to use the closed captions during the program, you can click on the CC button in the Zoom menu. You are also welcome to submit questions in the Q&A box throughout the event. So feel free to type a question at any point over the next hour. We have Penn staff behind the scenes who can type answers to your questions. And then we'll also ask some of our student panelists to answer your questions live on screen a little bit later on. Now, because we have a large audience, we probably won't be able to answer all of your questions, but we will try to answer as many as possible. And we'll also give you some contact information to follow up with the admissions office or with ISSS to share additional questions after the program. We also offer a lot of different ways to engage virtually with Penn's admissions office. We have other virtual programs like this one. We also have information sessions, guided virtual tours, and workshops. And you can register for all of those by going to the Visit Penn page of our website. And for the next hour, we're going to focus specifically on the international student experience at Penn. So we're not going to be talking about the application process or financial aid, but we know that those are really important topics. So if you have questions about the application process, I would encourage you to register for one of our virtual information sessions. And that will cover all the different components of the application, like transcripts, recommendations, and essays. And then we also have a webinar coming up on October 30th that's focused specifically on international financial aid. And I will put the registration link in the chat a little bit later in case you'd like to sign up for that. Now, before we proceed to the main event, I'd like to take a moment to give a land acknowledgement. At Penn's admissions office, we open our presentations this way to formally honor the land on which our university is located. Philadelphia occupies the traditional homelands of the Lenni Lenape. Our university expresses gratitude to the indigenous people of our region, both past and present, for the opportunity to live and learn on Lenapehoking, which is the land of the Lenape. Now, this is just a brief overview of how we're going to spend our time for the next hour. I'm just about done with the welcome. And then I will invite Dr. Rudie Altamirano to come on screen to give an introduction to International Student and Scholar Services, or ISSS. Dr. Rudie is the Executive Director of ISSS and will share all kinds of programs and resources and support services that ISSS provides to our international community here at Penn. Then we will welcome 4 current international undergraduates to come on screen. They will introduce themselves, and we'll start out with some common questions that you all have shared with us during the registration process, things about academics and extracurriculars, the transition to Penn. And then we will also try to make some time to take a few questions from the audience toward the end of the program. So now I would like to introduce and invite on screen Dr. Rudie Altamirano. As I mentioned, he is the Executive Director of International Student and Scholar Services, as well as Immigration Services and Integration Programs. He's going to give a brief presentation about ISSS. So take it away, Dr. Rudie.
Good morning from the University of Pennsylvania and the vibrant city of Philadelphia. We are thrilled to welcome you from all around the world and look forward to engaging with you. Your diverse backgrounds and experiences definitely enrich our community, and we cannot wait to embark on this journey together. So welcome again to an exciting new chapter, and welcome to everyone from all over the world. I know some of you are joining us during the evening, some in the afternoon, but it's sunny here in Philadelphia. So let me talk to you about International Student Scholar Services, or as we call it, ISSS or ISSS. Some students call us iCube, IS Cube, ISS3. So this is very, very exciting. Again, I'm very excited to engage with you this morning. Like you, when I was in high school, I was very excited to be part of a university community. And I was an international student 40 years ago, 41 years ago to be exact. And so let me talk to you about our office. And I cannot wait also to share the stage with four wonderful people who are current students today. So, okay, next, please. So what is ISSS? So ISSS, I know it's a mouthful. Our mission is to serve Penn's international student community. It's your home away from home, and it's very excited to offer. We have two unique pillars that set us apart within the Penn community, and so the immigration support and the integration support. So let's talk about one of each. Okay. So with one of our pillars, immigration support, we are here to make sure that international students have what they need in order to enter the United States to maintain lawful immigration status while in the country. So there are three aspects that you can see here on screen. One is getting your documents, your I-20. I hope, once you apply and you get in and admitted, we will be issuing you what we call an I-20 for F1 students. Majority of our students are F1 students. If you're a J1 student, we will issue a DS 2019. We will also work with you to apply for a work authorization. And, for you to be able to experience working in the United States, whether through optional practical training or on-campus employment. So we're here to help you navigate that. And thirdly, we're here to help you navigate the immigration landscape and meet legal requirements. Fortunately, sometimes as an international student, it comes with benefits, but also with responsibilities. So, of course, when you come as an international student, there's a lot of immigration law and responsibilities that you have to meet in order for you to succeed as an international student. So, as an office, you have to partner with us because your success is our success. But to make you successful, you have to work with us in order to understand the immigration landscape. Okay? Next, please. We need to make sure that you know that each international student will receive personal support from an ISS assigned advisor for all immigration-related matters. Because navigating the complexities of immigration can be challenging. And our team, as you can see here, we're here to help. We are here to partner with you. We're here to provide you with the excellent guidance on visa applications, work permits, compliance with U.S. immigration regulations, and to ensure for you to have the resources you need to focus on your studies and research, for example. Next, please. We are here also, the other side, the other pillar, is we're dedicated to providing integration services and programming so that you will thrive and feel at home at Penn in the United States. We understand that adapting to a new culture can be daunting, and our integration programs foster community connectedness. We offer workshops, programming, social events, mentorship opportunities that will help you build relationships, create networks, form friendships, and settle in a new environment like Penn. So you can see some examples of our programs where Forerunner, where we fly to the country of our new students from whether it's China, India, Brazil, Dubai, Singapore. We fly and welcome our new students and their parents. If you're a new undergraduate, we offer Penn Global Mosaic. Global Mosaic is the only pre-orientation program catering to a global focus, where we will bring both US and international students together for a 3 day of fun, games and interactions. And of course, we offer Global Mosaic, and when you return to campus, we offer the International Student Orientation. And the International Student Orientation is very, very important for you to be able to be adaptable and be flexible and to adjust wonderfully to the Penn community. And of course, during the middle of the semester, we will invite you to apply for a very highly selective program, the Intercultural Leadership Program. Now in its 19th year, the winner of the Models of Excellence Award here at Penn. It brings both US, international, undergraduate, graduate from all over the world. And so this is very exciting. You will know more about that once you get into Penn. Next, please. So 4 years at Penn. We will start when you come as a first-year student. We provide you with social events, as I've said. We have culture crossings. We have I Communicate workshops. I do this workshop to raise your awareness, your intercultural awareness. And we also collaborate with other resource offices here at Penn to make sure that you are well intertwined and connected to the university community. Next, please. Of course, new horizons ahead. Maybe you will think this is too far from the horizon. But once you graduate from Penn, aside from providing a welcome when you arrive as a first-year student, we will honor you with a graduate reception for international students and the families. It's a big bang celebration. And of course, during that time, we will award one of you, if you get into Penn, the Penn Global Student Citizenship Award for undergraduate and graduate winners, and be honored on stage. You get the spotlight and be recognized for your great work here in the university. Next, please. Again, we are serving nearly over 9,000 international students from all corners of the globe, 130 countries. And so our mission is to create a welcoming and inclusive environment where you can thrive despite all these numbers. We want to make sure that the world is small despite the big numbers here from 130 countries. Next, please. Connect with ISSS. We have our Instagram, where we provide you with all information about our programs, as well as the Facebook. I know some of you use Instagram more, but please connect with us. You can see our address, our website address there, and of course, contact us. We also provide with you with information. For some of you, you will like this better, the ISSS Global Quaker newsletters, so that you know what's happening, not just in ISSS, but what's happening all over Penn's campus. Okay, next, please. Now, here's what I'm talking about. The highlight of this event today. You will be meeting today's panelists. I will call them their name. They will turn on their camera and give them a brief description of themselves. So I'll call them their name. In no particular order, please turn on your camera. Let's call in Rehan Jamalova. Go for it, Rehan. Say hi. Say a brief introduction of yourself, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm very excited, first of all, to engage with you all. It's such a pleasure to be part of this panel, and I hope to have an insightful conversation with the fellow international students and Dr. Rudie. My name is Reyhan Jamalova. I am an international student from Azerbaijan. I'm currently a fourth-year student, senior at the School of Engineering and Applied Science. I'm studying computer science.
Very good. Thank you, Rehan. Let's go to Mariana Lanuza.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to be here. I'm a sophomore. I'm part of a dual degree program called the Huntsman Program, which is part of Wharton and the college, and I study business and international studies. We also have a target language, and mine is Portuguese. My concentration is finance, and I'm from Nicaragua. So
Thank you, Mariana. And of course, Iggs Mukyo.
Hello everyone. My name is Ig, and I'm a senior in the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm majoring in computer science and cognitive science. I'm super excited to be here again to chat with you guys and hopefully, answer a few questions that you guys might be wondering on on international students' experience here at Penn.
And last but not the least, Elliot Ross Dick.
Hi everyone, my name is Elliot Rostick. I'm a sophomore in the College of Arts and Sciences. I majored in mathematics and minor in theater and data analytics, and I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Rehan, Mariana, Iggs, and Elliot. So if maybe we can remove the screen. There you go. Thank you. So that I can interact with all the four of you. So I will ask the first question. And I want, since I can see the face of Elliot here in front of me, you will get the first question. How and why did you attend, or how and why did you decide to attend Penn?
That's a really good question. Well, for me, it was that I had a counselor in my high school, and they that had pitched Penn to me as a school that I would have liked to apply to. And it was because I grew up doing so many different things. Like I did school, but I was also involved in theater and volunteering, as well as doing a lot of like leadership stuff in my school. And I always liked to cross the boundaries of whatever discipline I was studying. So they were like, they think that Penn would be a good idea because that's the same ideas that Penn follows, where even though you study in one undergraduate school, you get to study and learn in every other undergraduate school at Penn, and basically cross your ideas from one subject to many different things. You're not constrained by one major. So that was a huge thing for me.
So you like the multidisciplinary aspect that you are in the college, and you can take classes in Wharton School, you can take classes in engineering. You're expanding your academic horizons. Is that right, Elliot? That's one of the things that attracts
Yes,
you.
exactly.
Okay. So Elliot, I want you to call someone. Who do you want to answer? That's the same question.
Mariana.
Mariana, you got the nod.
of
Same back.
course.
Mariana, why did you decide to attend Penn?
For me personally, it was when I found out about the Huntsman program. So what I really wanted is kind of a very holistic education. So what I really liked about the Huntsman program, it was that you were in Wharton, you had like a business oriented education, but you also were in the college studying international studies, which was really, really nice. And also I loved the language component. I've been learning languages my whole life. During high school, I focused in French, and now here I'm studying Portuguese. So I really like that aspect. And also the Penn community. They're very supportive people. It's a diverse community. And I just really, really like that. So
So you like the dual concentration, right? That's
yes.
amazing. Wharton and art and sciences. Now, since I like this question a lot, it's a basic fundamental question. Call the next one. Let's talk to the seniors. These two people who's about to graduate and leave Penn. Let's get their perspective. Who do you want to answer next? Rehan or Iggs?
Rayhan, go ahead.
Rehan, go for it. Why did you decide? I know this is 3 years ago or 4 years ago, but I want to understand. Rehan, if you don't know, is one of the most famous of the world, women under 30, famous. Forbes, women under 30. If you don't know that, that's a trivia for you. We're facing a celebrity here. So Rehan, why don't you answer that question?
So for me, I got introduced to University of Pennsylvania through a mentor. Actually, I was attending this program, Global Good Fund Fellowship Program, and I had a mentor who was a lecturer at Wharton School. And through like talking to her, like I had a chance to learn more about Penn, and I was truly fascinated by the amount of research opportunities at Penn. And at high school in Azerbaijan, I didn't really have those opportunities to involve in research. So I really wanted to try that out as an undergrad. And knowing that even like as a freshman, you can easily get involved in research and work with professors really interested me and wanted me to kind of attend Penn. I also, when I found out that I was also selected as a Penn World Scholar, that was also another factor that really affected my decision to come to Penn. So I think, yeah, these are the two major factors. Being involved in such a diverse community, as Mariana mentioned, was also another factor for me. Also, I really like the interdisciplinary culture at Penn, as Elliot mentioned as well.
Well, so you're in agreeable for this one. Amazing. So are you able to do research, Rehan? Did you meet your goal? Because you said you're also attracted because of the research component. So you were able to
Yes.
do that. Okay.
Yes, I actually have been doing research at Penn since my freshman year.
Wow. Okay. So you were
I
able
can
to,
talk more about that later.
yeah, that would be great. So X, why don't you end with this question? Go for it.
Well, you mentioned that it was 3 years ago. I probably forgot, but just kidding. Um, I was part of the college access program called Bridge to Rwanda, and my counselor was more observative of my background academically and all that, and he suggested that I would do a bit more research on Penn. And when I actually figured out that one of my mentors, David Kato, who actually was a recipient of the
Encanto.
yeah, and he was actually on the slides. It was one of the recipients of the prizes last year. And he was my personal mentor. He was coming to Penn. I was like, there's no place I would, rather be, because I wanted to keep that kind of mentorship going on. And as soon as I got here, it was even better because I was able to diversify the field of knowledge. Because I came in and decided, I was like, well, I knew I wanted to do like things in certain disciplines, but I also wanted that flexibility to be able to take some classes in engineering, some classes in Wharton, some classes, in the sociology department and African studies department. So I kind of like, if you look at my transcript, I have a lot of classes all over the schools. Well, I'm yet to take a nursing class, but yeah,
So you took a nursing class too.
no, I'm yet to take one.
So you should take it before you graduate. So you haven't done it. Wow.
I have it. I have it.
Diversify. Complete your diversification here. So X, I'll give you the honor to call on the next one.
For the next question,
Yeah, who do you want to answer the next question?
uh, maybe you could hear a little bit more from Rayhan. I don't know, just passing
Rehan.
it back.
Wonderful, Rehan. So Rehan, remember 4 years ago, remember, I think you're not the COVID cohort, but you're after COVID. What was it like to bring us back to that time as a first year student? What was it like to transition to Penn as an international student? Talk about pre-orientation, orientation, how you adjusted to the Penn campus, to the United States. You're coming from Azerbaijan, the found community at Penn. So why don't you take us back to that experience?
Of course. When I first came to Penn, I actually came here earlier. I came here on August 5th, I think, if I remember correctly. And that was because I was attending pre-freshman program. And that program was mainly designed for first generation low income students to have this kind of college experience beforehand to get used to the campus and also take some like pre-college courses on mathematics, coding, physics, and also we also did a lab component as well. But it actually, like, this program was not only for engineering, it was like a university wide program for college and nursing and Wharton School as well. And in that program really helped me a lot in my transition because I was able to get to know the campus better. I basically, by taking these classes, kind of helped me in the classes that I was taking in the semester because it was almost like I was taking like exact same classes in my freshman semester. So having some sort of an exposure really helped me to do well on those courses. I also later on attended Advancing Women Engineers pre-orientation program as well. That was mainly focused on the engineering school. So in that pre-orientation program kind of helped I kind of learned more about the engineering resources and got introduced to different clubs specifically for engineering students, and also had a chance to learn more about the majors. Because to be honest, for me, I came here as a mechanical engineering major. And by taking classes, actually, I feel like freshman also helped me. I realized like I don't really enjoy physics that much, but I like coding more. So I actually changed my major. And I think this kind of programs really helped me decide that.
And you talk about pre-orientation, but you were also a leader in a pre-orientation program. And why don't you talk about Global Mosaic? What? Because there's the Women in Engineers pre-orientation, but the Global Mosaic is very different from that, but both are pre-orientation. Quickly, briefly describe the Penn Global Mosaic, the one that ISS do. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So Penn Global Mosaic actually was a totally different experience than what I had in the Advancing Women Engineers orientation program. Basically, as Dr. Rudie mentioned, Penn Global Mosaic is open to both international and like US students, and they basically go to a retreat. I think it was in Pendle Hill, so we went there. It was a lovely weekend, and we had a lot of fun activities and interactive activities. And I think the part that really always struck me was like it was like when you do the activities, you're like, oh, I'm having so much fun. And then in the end, when we actually did a debrief of each activity, we realized while having fun, we actually learned a lot from like all those activities as well. You learn about your cultural identity, you like kind of describe your differences, but also what unite us. So that was such a wonderful experience. And that was one of my favorite kind of parts of Penn experience. So I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you,
to Dr.
Rayhan.
Rudie.
Let's call in another one to answer the same question. Who do you want? You can return the favor to X or Mariana or Elliot. So your choice.
Elliot, you can go
Elliot,
ahead.
excited to hear. How did you from Trinidad and Tobago, an island nation? You know how was it for you to transition to Penn and Philadelphia?
It was definitely at first a bit hard, my first semester was really fun. It was really exciting. There were so many things to do. I think that definitely made it easier that, the ISSS was having events during orientation programs. We had so many events during new student orientation where I got to spend a lot of time with my roommate, make friends. And then in my second semester is when they had Carnival, which is one of the biggest celebrations in Trinidad. And I was definitely like, I still want to be home right now. However, I did form very close communities through clubs. So I'm in a performing group called Mask and Wig. And I made very good friends with them because we spent so much time collaborating and working together. And so when I was having a rough time with feeling homesick and that kind of stuff, they formed a very crucial support system for me. So while I did have a rough transition when they had like big events that I always loved being home for, I did have the community here for support when I needed it.
And Elliot has the best personality. I saw Elliot as a first year student go attend the welcome picnic, always smiling, so excited. So Elliot, you can choose the next one for the next question. Will be X or Mariana. Those were your two choices.
Let's give Mariana a chance to speak.
Mariana, let's talk about academics. What academic experiences have been the most fascinating to you?
I've
And
had
X, you will answer the same question. Okay, so be ready.
I've had so many great experiences. Well, first, I think Huntsman Seminar was one of my favorite classes throughout the whole year. Basically, this is kind of like a seminar where you get kind of the whole class of your Huntsman year comes together and you talk about the professor talks about politics for one part of the semester, and the next part of the semester talks about more business. So you learn about Tata Group, Apple, and other and other organizations. And that was one of my favorite. And second, I think it's just the fact that sometimes professors come and they bring wonderful guest speakers, very prominent people that you just like would never have thought to meet. I would never have thought to meet in Nicaragua. So I think that's just a wonderful opportunity that Penn allows you to have. And what else? I think those are
So for
one
you,
of them and
it's
two of them.
one seminar because you meet people, the
Yes.
topics of interest, the outstanding faculty speakers, those kind of things, or for other industries. That's wonderful. So, Iggs, why don't you answer the same question? Academic experience that has been so fascinating that now you're about to graduate that you will never forget. Go for it.
Yeah, well, my first fascination was actually freshman fall. I was taking a class with my advisor. And he was actually it was a class about like US politics and how it reflects to the global scale. And on in this class, I was the professor actually asked me to put together a mini lecture about the Rwandan history, especially as it applies to the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. And that was so fascinating being like the only freshman in the class because it was like the 400 level class, just a bunch of seniors and juniors in the class, and being able to talk about where you come from, about your history, kind of really, really resonated with me. And I would also probably talk about the my unofficial advisor in the engineering school. His name was Professor Eric Fau, who was teaching a class about design. And when I took that class with him, I was like, this really resembles what it looks like in the actual workplace because that's the way he structured the class. And we were using some of the tools that I was using previously in the internship. And it was like this is really like a preparatory class for the real world. So yeah, I think those are the two most
Wonderful. When you
interesting.
talk about Rwanda in an engineering class, is that what you're saying, or
The,
different?
the, the, yeah, the first class was actually an Africana Studies class,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's also cross-listed as a sociology and poli-sci class.
Yeah, it's wonderful that you're able to, in a big class, a 400 level class, to be able to talk about your country. It gives you pride,
Mm,
right? It's wonderful.
absolutely.
So now we're all
Absolutely.
equal footing. Raise your hand if you want to answer the next question, but don't look at the next question so that it doesn't bias you. Raise your hand if you want to answer the next question. All the four of you. Okay, Elliot raised his hand first. So I will call on Elliot. Elliot, what activities? You talk about mask and wig because you did not elaborate on that. I want you to talk about mask and wig and other activities that you've been involved in at Penn and how did it enrich your college experience? Go for it.
So
Yeah.
I am in Mask and Wig, which is a very old sketch comedy group that does SNL type comedy that was founded in 1889. And we have been performing in the University of Pennsylvania for that long, actually. And I'm part of the cast, which means I perform, sing, dance, act on stage, and also help them write. And that's like a really, really, really close community that I've formed. We spend a lot of time together. And we're actually in our show week this week. So if anyone is in Philadelphia and wants to come to a Mask and Wig show and get a taste of Penn, they can. And I'm also in many other different things. For example, I'm a music mentor where I did an ABCS, which is academically based community service course. And as part of that course, we did a volunteering component at Henry C. Lee Elementary School, which is a middle school that's very near to Penn. And I did volunteering there with their choir where I would help them organize that stuff. And I continued on after the class was finished because I enjoyed volunteering so much. And now I have coordinate that course as well as coordinate volunteering. And I still go to volunteer every week. I'm also a kite and key tour guide at Penn. And I do a lot of other theater stuff as well. So I'm a choreographer for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is being done by Stimulus Children's Theatre, and I'm also a board member for Quadramics, which is another student performing group here on campus. And honestly, it really enriches my experience by allowing me to do everything that I love here at Penn. It's so easy to find things that you want to do. I think we have over 1,000 clubs here on Penn's campus, and like they have like all sorts of different things where you could do coding, you could do mock trial, and you can even do pen beekeeping. So there's just so many different things that you could do, and it really like it enriches my life by giving me a community, allowing me to do the things I love, and also allowing me to apply things that I learn in the classroom into things that I do. For example, with volunteering and the music mentorship program, I'm very interested in social injustice and stuff and that kind of stuff. And that gives me while I've studied things in the classroom and I've done urban studies classes, I get to go out in the Philadelphia community and actually see how these things arise, interact with the Philadelphia community, gain a nuanced view of how these things are happening. And then that allows me as an individual to think of better solutions beyond the theoretical solutions that I think of in the classroom. So it's all of this is like really important for me.
As you can see, Elliot is a very multi-talented, I've seen him perform wonderfully, sings and dance, and that beyond the talent is amazing. I know Rayhan raised her hand earlier before Ix, so I will call in Rayhan. How about you talk about from a multi-talented guy to another, a wonderful, brilliant woman? Go for it, Rayhan. Talk about your activities. What activities are you involved here at Penn?
Yeah, so basically, I'm currently involved in advancing women engineers. So basically, I am part of the board. So I am co-leading a subcommittee on first-year transition to Penn. So we are basically organizing events for first-year freshmen to just get used to the campus and engineering and to connect first-year students. Like we organize like fun events like Valentine's Day, candy jar decoration event, or like sushi study break. We also host like professional events as well. Like we had like LinkedIn headshots taken like last semester. We also try to connect first year students to upperclassmen for them to get some advice on career and like study tips like from upperclassmen. So yeah, I've been doing that. Also, I'm a research peer advisor for Center of Undergrad Research and Fellowships, Curve. And as a RPA, research peer advisor, I am basically working with freshmen and sophomore to help them get started doing research on campus and navigate the research opportunities here at Penn. I am also tutoring at the Weingarten Center. I love tutoring. Actually, I really like working with students and just like helping them understand the concepts better. That also helps me to kind of get like be on track with those subjects as well. It helps me not to forget the material as well. And I'm also vice president of Azerbaijani Student Club. And we host a lot of events to promote Azerbaijani culture, our history, traditions. We also host a lot of events in collaboration with other clubs like Kazakh Student Club, Polish Student Club. We had like a dumpling event with them like last year. Last week we had an event with Albanian Club, just like to connect students from different backgrounds and like embrace the cultural richness of the campus.
And don't forget, 3 of you are Penwell Scholars. 3
Yes.
panelists. Don't forget the Penwell Scholars is another activity that you're involved in, because that provides you with the financial support that you need in college. This is a collaborative partnership with admissions in our office, where we select the top of the notch. You don't apply for it. You get selected without applying, and the Penwell Scholar experience is only for the few that are chosen. And it's an experience from first year to 4th year where you're involved in so many different activities. Okay, I just want to tell you that that's one thing. 3 of our panelists are Penwell Scholars. Okay, so Ix, I know you and Mariana quickly though. You have been in Philadelphia, Ix, for a while now. What is it like to live in Philadelphia? How is it living in Philadelphia?
Well, it's actually really great to actually to be here because I have a lot of my friends like in the neighboring cities. I have a bunch of friends in New York, Washington D.C., which is like all those places are like 2 hours bus away or train ride away, and it's much easier to actually be able to attend because I'm very interested in going to the networking events, most likely in New York, which is pretty much where like most of those are likely to happen in my industry. Um, and I can easily get there. I could and Philadelphia is relatively cheap because I was in New York for a summer internship, and the prices there are so crazy. So I definitely prefer like staying in Philly where everything is, within the reach. Uh, Penn is like few minutes away from Center City where you could get, pretty much anything you want that, should be in a city, to be honest. You think about it, it's actually there. Um, and for me it was also like that aspect that I could easily keep contact with my friends that are nearby that really made the difference.
For you, the accessibility aspect. And they say
Yeah,
Philadelphia is a big city in a small town or a small town in a big city. You know what I mean?
true.
Mariana, do you have anything to add? What is Philadelphia for you? How do you find Philadelphia compared to Managua? You know what I mean? Go for it.
I loved Philadelphia. Basically, first of all, the weather, it's completely different. Nicaragua, it's hot the whole year. Here, I was able to observe all four seasons. So I think you can see in Dr. Rudy's background, there's like the this is how it looks
Oh, the
during
color of the
fall.
leaves. Yeah.
Yes. So I know my professors would say the best place to see how fall develops for the first time is it here in
This
Philly,
time of the year.
especially in Locust Walk. You see how beautiful the leaves are. And snow obviously was amazing. I looked probably ridiculous taking photos every time of every single um snow, but it's just part of being an international student at Penn. So I always took pictures and it's just amazing. And what else? It's wonderful to have Center City so close by. So although you have Penn campus here, you just have it's like a 10-minute walk to Center City, and you can go, I don't know, maybe study there in a cafe or just do something fun with your friends, go to a restaurant. And what else? Sometimes I go for runs by Center City. There's a nice place by the bridge that you could just can run and so keep healthy throughout the year. And yeah.
Thank you. Before we give, the chance for the students to ask questions, I want you to have a brief answer to this question. Brief, okay? What do you wish you had known about Penn before you arrived? Let's start with you, Mariana. I wish I had known this about Penn. Briefly. I
I
wish
think
I
it's
had
just
known.
basically I should have gotten my coats before the cold came. I got very confident. And
Oh,
so I didn't have my coats ready. So once I came out, I
cold.
was like wearing a hoodie when it was like
Agree.
10 It was very
Right.
cold.
It's very cold, right? Sometimes it
Yeah.
will surprise you. Great. Rehan, how about you?
So for me, I feel like when I first came here, like I was receiving so many emails, and sometimes I was like feeling really overwhelmed by the amount of emails, and would like skip some of them. But like I wish like you have to read at least like skim through the emails to make sure that you don't miss out opportunities because
Very good. Very good. Especially with ISSS. Don't ignore our emails. You'll miss a lot of immigration updates that can jeopardize your status as a student. Ix, how about you? What you wish you had known about Penn?
Well, I wish I knew a bit more about how much of the learning experience is actually from your peers, because it kind of took me a little bit of time to get super connected as much as I wanted to be, because I that's kind of when I started, like it took me a year or a year and a half to be as active as I am today. And and overall your experience is more likely going to be, the highlight of your experience at Penn is more likely going to be, it's more likely going to have one of your friends, your roommate, your classmate in it, your professor outside of class actually. And because for me, I could think of multiple occasions that if I didn't really connect to these kind of people, my experience would have been certainly different.
So beyond the classroom learning, Elliot, briefly, what do you wish you had known about Penn that I
Um,
known it?
I wish I spent more time snooping around like the Penn resources to see like what things I could do, because there's just so much opportunity to do so many different things, like study abroad, do research, for career advising, for like different student groups. I think that I was very late to learning about all of this stuff, so I didn't really like have a plan, because it all comes like really quickly when we have
Yeah.
our club fair. Like there's like just a bunch of people asking you to sign up. And so like I just wish that I had an idea of what I wanted before, so that I could like take as much advantage of it as
Yeah,
possible.
very much. The resources are abundant. Well, thank you again, but let's go to the offside reporter. Let's call in Barbara. Maybe we'll have a question from Barbara from the offside camera here. Barbara, what is the question that we should ask our panelists?
Thanks, Dr. Rudie. Yes, it seems that there are a number of questions in the Q&A box about career development. So I'd like to know how the students have explored internships and career development opportunities during your time at Penn.
Who wants to answer that question? Career, internships. It's your first hand raised. Go for it.
Yeah, well, I think that the biggest part of the careers, like exploring career, is primarily your peers, because you're most likely gonna find someone who've done your like an internship where you want to take it at, and your friends group, or like within 3 or 2 people connections, if that kind of makes sense. So the person you want to talk to is within your connection, like 2 or 3 people at Penn, because um for me, when I was searching for my internship, I talked to one of my friends, my roommate, who was interning at Mackenzie, and he kind of like helped me through like mock interviews and connected me with the people in in different companies to do like mock interviews, to do case studies. And there's a lot of support that also comes in from different offices like the career services. I remember I went there for like my resume review, and I was actually reviewed by a fellow student, because it's, as I mentioned, there's a lot of things that you're going to learn from your peers, and there's a lot of support that you're going to get from them as well.
So
So yeah.
peer mentoring, peer support. Wonderful, wonderful.
Mhm.
Okay. I see a lot of questions here. It says a lot of students ask about specific questions about specific number or size the community for students from various countries. Could you address? Maybe it is helpful to share a global community. Yes. So a lot of students are very curious about the number of sites, the community for students from various countries. Of course, China and India. We have a lot of students from China and India, but it doesn't mean that we have about 130 countries represented here at Penn. Of course, we have Rwanda, Azerbaijan, Nicaragua, and Trinidad, Tobago here. But whether all the continents are represented except Antarctica. So I just want to let you know. Clubs are so abundant. Nationality clubs, every club. You're part of the SAIP, which is what is the SAIP? Say it.
So
There's some
SAI,
country related event clubs. What do you have? What is SAIP?
yes, so the SAIP is the Society for African International Students at Penn, and it's pretty much like the home for African international students to, get together, express themselves freely, and support each other. Going back to the peer support, uh, and it's been established in 2016, and I was leading it last year, and this year I'm kind of like taking an advisory role. So we have multiple mentorship programs. We do events to kind of like, keep ourselves, keep keep supporting each other, keep celebrating the culture and also like showcase different African cultures that are represented at Penn. And yeah, we have about 100-ish students, give or take. Yeah, it's been a while since I did the numbers. But
Ray,
yeah.
of course, Rayhan talked about part of the Azerbaijan. She is the vice president of the Azerbaijan Society. So
Mhm.
it's the opportunity. You can create your own club also here. So maybe I see a question in the chat, unless Barbara, you have a very pressing question that we need to ask. But maybe this is a good question to ask. I'll ask this the last one that I saw in the chat. But Barbara, do you have any other questions that you want our panelists to address? Or
We did have a number of questions about research opportunities and how
Okay.
students have pursued research or other intellectual pursuits beyond the classroom.
I know Rayhan alluded to that earlier. So Rayhan, you have a lot of research opportunities. Of course, a woman under 30, Forbes recognized one of the 100 women in the world. So maybe chat about one research opportunity that you went through. Go for it.
Yes,
In the class.
so basically, as a freshman, I actually applied to this program. It was first year exposure to research in STEM program. It was specifically for engineering school students, and that's how I got involved in research at Penn initially. And in that program, I was randomly assigned to a lab, and then I worked there. They also provided me a funding to do summer research. And I was also doing like research during the academic year as a work study. So that kind of also helped me in that way as well. And then later on, I participated in another program. It was Radcliffe Scholars Program. That's also a program specifically for engineering. But there is another program which is for its perm. It's the I forgot it's the program for undergrad research for sophomore and freshman students to basically work with the professor as their mentor. That program also provides funding to do summer research. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. You can also actually sign up to have a research peer advisor and talk to them just to learn more about this opportunities.
Wonderful, wonderful. Of course, you have. I think they will be given their, if they're comfortable, their email information so that you can follow up with them also. My last question before I give the floor to Barbara is this. I like this question a lot. It's not part of your script. So it's a fill in the blanks. An excellent Penn student is blank. Rayhan, why don't you start? An excellent, amazing, great Penn student is blank. Think about it. I'll give you 5 seconds to reflect on this. What qualities that most students in UPenn show? What is an excellent, amazing, great Penn student? Unless if someone is ready, I don't want to put Rayhan on the spot. Raise your hand if you're ready to answer the question. And I'll call on you. Our Elliot, of course, go for it. And then Mariana follows, and then X, and then we'll end with Rayhan. Go for it, Elliot.
One thing that popped into my mind, I think that an excellent Penn student is someone who shows initiative. And so like when they want something to happen or when they want to do something, they'll go look for it and try to get it done or like find the people to have them get it done.
Self-initiative is very important. You are the agent of yourself. You create your own destiny. That's very good, Elliot. Mariana.
Yeah, I had an idea around the same. It was proactive. So Penn students are proactive people. Wherever you go, like clubs, they're student led. They're completely like, for instance, I'm part of PEAK, which is Penn International Impact Consulting. And it's basically it's a club that's focused in helping NGOs, giving a consulting service for NGOs. And it's basically funded by students. They get the grants themselves, they make applications. So it's just finding a way to have your own impact in the world and making sure that you take that initiative yourself.
Proactive in self-initiative. Okay, X. An excellent, amazing, great Penn student is blank. Go for it.
Uh, an excellent Penn student is flexible because
Flexible. Okay.
because, Penn has a lot of things to offer, and it requires a lot of flexibility to be able to pick the most out of your experience here. Um, I'm saying this because from my experience, it was it was that aspect that really allowed me to be able to diversify my education as I wanted to.
Wonderful, wonderful. And of course, Rehan.
I would say an excellent Penn student is collaborative in a way that they like to work with one another and give back to the campus.
Very collaborative. Yes, Penn is so huge in collaborating. Whether offices collaborate, Penn Admission and ISSS, students collaborating with each other, you will only thrive here if you're willing to partner. Barbara, I want you to answer the question about Penn Alumni Network. How about answering that? And then I'll give you the floor. Before I do that, I would like to thank our panelists, Biggs, Elliot, Mariana, and Rayan. Thank you. I know how busy you are with your work, schools, exams, and papers, but thank you for giving us and investing your time to engage with me and engage with the more than 200 students, high school students in the chat room today. So I'll give the floor to Barbara to respond to Alumni Network and then end the session for today. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Rudie, and thank you to our 4 panelists. It's so interesting to hear about everything that you've been engaged in during your time here at Penn. You were all very busy, so we really appreciate you taking this time to speak to our prospective applicants. Yes, Dr. Rudie alluded to some questions that we saw in the Q&A box related to our alumni network. Penn has many thousands of alumni who've earned degrees in our undergraduate and graduate programs. They are all over the world, and some of them may even have the opportunity to meet you if you choose to apply to Penn. But our undergraduate students have a lot of opportunities to connect with Penn alumni, to get career advice, or to learn about opportunities that might exist after graduation. So if you'd like to learn more about that, you can certainly find some of that information on Penn's websites. And just to be conscious of time, I know that we need to wrap up, but thank you all so much for tuning in to this program to learn more about our international community at Penn. There's still many different ways that you can learn about our university. You can feel free to contact us using the information you see here on the page. You can send an email to Penn Admissions, or you can use the contact form on the ISSS website. And there are also different ways that you can learn more online. You can go to our websites, or you can check out the Visit Penn section of the Penn Admissions website to find other virtual events or to learn about a campus visit. I also welcome you to check out our YouTube channel, which includes recordings of virtual programs like this one's, as well as student stories and application advice videos. And you can also follow us on social media at Previewing Penn. Earlier in the program, I put some of the links in the chat box. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have an event coming up on October 30th about financial aid for international applicants. I saw that some of you had questions about that, so please feel free to register for that event. We really appreciate all the questions you asked during the program. We tried to get to as many as we possibly could, but if you have a question that we weren't able to answer today, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you all once again for joining us. We look forward to connecting with you in the future. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day or evening.